Hello guys, I'm back from the dead. Sorry for the hiatus. Long story short, I was fully active in Minecraft, but I was kinda stuck on how to make videos. Because you see, I use this popular camera mode, also known as replay mode, and the last few months it simply wouldn't update to the latest versions of the game. So I was kinda, I lost my workflow method and I couldn't figure out how to tackle this issue. Until now, I just decided to roll with whatever idea I had. So basically in this video we're gonna chill, we're gonna do things a bit more old school, and I'm just gonna walk you through a recent renovation I did to an older building of mine. My honey farm. The building consists of a huge beehive on the top hanging from a dead branch, a glass terrarium for the bees to roam, a small wheat farm in the front, and the main structure which practically exists to hide the actual redstone farm. So basically this renovation started out because I was trying to improve the storage system, since with the new auto crafter blocks I could do some adjustments. Thus I began the improvements, starting by separating which rows of dispensers are gonna be using sears and which ones are gonna be using glass bottles. Because previously the dispensers were of a mixed variety of sears and glass bottles, aka utter chaos. Afterwards I worked on cleaning up the old chests that were struggling to keep up the pace of the actual rates of the farm. As you can see, they're pretty full and unorganized. And thirdly, after some tidying up, I began experimenting. My first thought is to make the two auto crafters here, one for honeycomb blocks and one for honey blocks. That required more space to clean up and also me researching a bunch of stuff of the proper auto crafting design. I'm still a newbie to auto crafters, so bear with me as I learn and make mistakes. After some trial and error, this is what I ended up with, which I tested and it works perfectly fine. But that brings us to the next optimization. This crafter here, by producing honey blocks, it also spits out the remaining empty glass bottles. Now I need to prepare a filter system which will separate the honey blocks and the bottles. And that I did. Onwards to the next upgrade. The refilling system. First, a little demonstration. The Minecraft will come like this, filled up with glass bottles, and is gonna drop them in the hoppers and through the hoppers into the dispensers. For some reason, when I used a hopper cart with rails directly on the dispensers, it didn't work. Not sure if I was doing something wrong, but anyway, I moved on and I ended up with this. Of course, this needs to be extended to the second floor as well. After finishing with the second floor railing, I had to actually connect the input rails with the basement in order to pick up the bottles. For that, I wanted to make an extra room for my own convenience. Okay, so I made a box. I swear it's a temporary box, and its only use for now is to help me arrange the inner workings and space. And with that, I connected everything. And now let me show you the final refinement of the basement. So yeah, I'm very proud of this. It's probably the cleanest, most convenient redstone area I have ever made. It's the thematic with the bees and everything. The floor is filled to the brim with honey too. You better not fall down, cause you're gonna find yourself in a sticky situation. So yeah, anyway, I also added one more modification, which toggles whether I want to gather honeycombs or let them get directly crafted into their block form. Because I have entirely forgotten that I actually need honeycombs as they are in order to make candles or wax things. One thing I must absolutely introduce you to is my save rooms. Save rooms is what I call these little safe spaces that I legit add in all my buildings. Those spaces usually consist of at least one bed, an ender chest, and a few utility blocks. There is a reason why I call them save rooms, and you can entirely skip this part if that doesn't interest you. It's totally fine. But if you're still here, let me explain. Have you ever played Resident Evil? You know, the horror games with the zombies, where everything is trying to kill you in the worst way possible? Well, in those games, there are only very few areas that you're actually safe. And those are the save rooms. As the name suggests, in those rooms you can actually save your progress, save the game, and you also have access to your universal storage system, which is basically something very similar to the ender chest. So me being a huge fan of Resident Evil, I had to please that need that I have to feel the same vibes, the warmth and the coziness of those rooms, just like in the original games. And to be honest, sometimes Minecraft too tries to kill you in the worst ways possible. So what's better than having the reassurance and the safety that you require in order to conquer this cruel world? Okay, enough with that. Let's get back to business. Have you noticed I left this staircase untouched, as it's gonna be the next part of our renovation. We are gonna give it some space and add a new entrance at the back side of the building, something like an easy and fast access for downstairs. And here it is, less and prettier, with easy access for both the main building and the basement. And of course, now we will work on the ugly sideboard. I'm also gonna redefine the front area with some drastic changes. It feels a bit noisy overall, thus I want to establish some better areas of focus along with the color palette. There we go, that satisfies me. A better front door, better architecture, and yet another entrance for the basement too. This one is a bit more crude, like if dug into a rock. If you notice, I generally use granite for when I want to make boulders and rocky terrain in my desert. On the top of this building, we have some more bees with their bee boxes and personal plants. And also some basic interior along with my building materials. The boring wheat farm is also gone, replaced from a variety of warm-colored flowers. We have a few more details to change and we are almost done. One of them is the door to the terrarium, which is not necessarily bad, but I want to change its color for sure. Yeah, that feels more welcoming. By the way, somewhere in between changes and improvements, I actually tweak a bit the big beehive and the branch. But until this step, I was still unsure of its progress. Thus, I decided to wrap this up. I further reshaped the branch into a full-grown tree, while also improving the colors and textures of the beehive. Then I slightly reworked the terrarium by reducing the yellow and orange glass in order to give better clarity to the dripping honey, and also remade the wooden beams that support it. As for the final step, I renovated the kinda penthouse part at the top of the main building. I removed the glass blocks, decorated it with enough plants, refined its architecture, and voila! We are done! I want to thank all of you for watching this video and being patient with me. Thank you for your time and support, I really appreciate it. And remember, you can always join this server by checking the links in the description. Until next time, please have a nice day and take care. Bye bye!